Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Marvel Monday this evening. So I will be conducting the session tonight. And alongside with me, you'll be hearing a couple of live testimonial sharing later from Gary, Celine, and Helen, who will be coming on. So without further ado, maybe let me just start introducing ourselves. So we call ourselves the LifeChangers, changing lives one at a time, right? And our vision really is to be the choice team in network marketing. And the mission is to build a community that fosters lifelong partnerships to promote optimal health and wealth. And really our purpose is to enrich people to lead healthier, richer, longer lives with innovative life technology. The core values that we have come up with: gratitude, responsibility, authenticity, courage, and empathy. And I really hope that by the end of this evening, you at least experience a few of this from us, right? And so without further ado, I'm just going to start my sharing this evening. So firstly, with the disclaimer first, that the LifeWave products are lifestyle products. They are general wellness products, right? It's not intended to diagnose, to cure any disease. So always consult a physician, right, before embarking on a new treatment, product use, or diet. It's not intended to substitute professional medical advice and should not be relied on, right, as health or personal advice, right? The success stories, or rather, like what I mentioned just now, the testimonials that you are going to hear later, are anecdotal and based on personal accounts, viewpoint and opinion rather than research facts. So one person's results do not reflect what other people may experience. You will notice that, the beauty about this, it's not like, when you do this and upon a certain time, you will reach this particular result. Actually, our body is very intelligent and each of our body is different. Body function different, it will literally start differently. So just to let you know that not everyone will experience the same, yeah? All right, so maybe why LifeWave? So let me start with the company, right? So we don't call ourselves a company that actually produces this product. We call ourselves a technological company, right? Specializing in patented wearable technology, harnessing the power of light and to boost health at the cellular level, right? Which is actually very crucial right now, right? At the cell level. And also the purpose of this is to actually tap on our body system to function properly and to start healing from within, without the use of medications, injections, and surgeries. So as we know, the Western medication has a couple of years of history together with the TCM as well. Actually, before all of this start, the first energy that we experience, the first love that we experience is actually from the sun. Yeah, light energy. So, all right. We can't really talk about what LifeWave is without talking about David Smith, right? He's the founder, he's the CEO, and he's the inventor. So the beauty of this company is you have this man, in charge of all this, so that, there isn't a third party. At least, we count on him to be very congruent, right, with himself. And actually, just right before this Zoom, we were just catching up with James, and James was just sharing with us, the latest story that, he heard from the Greek islands. He just got back, that how this man, David Smith, has persisted through the 16 years. Some of the difficulties that he has gone through, but yet he persisted in 16 years. So we are very grateful that as a result of his resilience and persistence that we get a chance to get to know this product. So David Smith is actually a scientist, right? So you notice that, as he started, this is not about, wow, let me create a network marketing or a direct sales company. He's actually a doctor of science and technology. And he said this: if we were to go back 20 years, the subject of age reversal was thought to be science fiction. It's almost like, right, like how many, 20 years ago, like even at my time, my first phone, I was like using Nokia, already very happy, right? never think about right now at this time and this age that all of us, could actually talk to one another just through like having a phone. So this is just what he's saying. If we go back, this is really like science fiction, and how, he has in his years of resilience and research to have this made possible. All right, this product is very interesting. You see, so like it's not one or two patents is enough, he has 130 plus patents, right, on his products. Okay, and for those of you, just to let you know, if you are so interested in the science and technology, you can always Google online and read through his patents. It's very, very, very amazing. But for me, myself, halfway through, right, I'm someone who really see and get excited by the results, because halfway through, there's just too much technical terms for me. And continuing on this, it takes many years of research. Yeah. So when he first started on this product, it's actually invented for the US Navy SEALs for a very specific purpose, right? Just a little bit that, he actually invented the submarine, right? And the submarine can stay in the water, under the water for a very long time. As what I remember, about 30 hours. And what happens is the human beings cannot, right? So the Navy SEALs can't. So the request of him is to actually invent something that can actually help the Navy SEALs. And so our first product is actually energy enhancer that increases your strength 20%, upon putting it on for the first 5 minutes. Yeah. And, as a result of his success and all, right, it's actually, our LifeWave is actually funded by Irish government. I mean, for me personally, that's the first that I know that a direct sales company is being funded actually by a government. And as mentioned just now, he's the CEO, the founder, the inventor, and we also have our in-house manufacturing. We call it like, the 一条龙, so that you are not actually depending, right, on anything external or OEM to make it possible for you. So what really is LifeWave, right? And why LifeWave? And what's the product that we are all like, ooh, that we really wanted to go for? So tonight, I'm specifically speaking about X39, yeah? So this is just a little bit of history. Like just now I mentioned, our first product here, if you can see my cursor, right, is actually energy enhancer that helps increases our strength in a very short time. Upon patching, you will notice that, we are also actually involved in Olympics. So what made this really famous is also Olympic swim coach, right, Richard Quick, who tried this on his swimmers, and they actually break their personal records. Right. And if you stay with me before we go to live testimonials later, I will actually show you the testimonial from Olympics 2024, right? Hot from the stove. Yeah. And so if you notice that in his invention, it's all about addressing, right, the issues of the world, like what we need. As the world progresses, we actually face and have very different problems and situations, right? So it's almost like, this one whereby you see the army, in terms of like the army, it started Navy SEALs and then war, right? What happens is almost like the ice wave is a pain relief. So it's really to help people with pain, and also silent night in terms of improving the sleep quality of people. And you notice that, there's the manufacturing boom. And as a result, he invented the glutathione that actually helps us detox the heavy metals, as well as Aeon over here to help us with our oxidative stress. And as we move along, there's the rise of the fast food industry. And SP6 to actually help us with our internal organ system. And there is the carnosine, right, to help us with also our heart and like anxiety and what we had to go through in the 2008 financial crisis. So as we move on, you notice that as the world's problems shift, right, the tools that we want to have around us has to be upgraded as well. And then in 2019 is whereby there is the breakthrough product X39, right, reverse aging era. So a lot of people ask me this, what's the difference between reverse aging and anti-aging, right? So anti-aging, as I understand, is when you are 60 years old, you look like you are 60 years old, and that's anti-aging, right? Reverse aging is whereby when you are 60 years old, you look like, you are 50, okay? So over here, they actually did the test, right? David Smith did a test, and upon 6 months of patching X39, you actually reverse your age by 8.5 years. Yeah. And thereafter, there is also the X49, as well as there is also the Shine and Dream. So let's talk a little bit about aging. So literally, what is aging, right? Aging is literally degeneration. And what degeneration does is like, it can cause disability, there is aches, there's pain. So you realize that, children, as they get injured, they actually recover a lot faster compared to the adults because of our aging process, right? So stem cells also age, also dies, which is what that is creating all the lines over here that you see. So baby, you notice that there's 100% of the stem cells. And then as we move towards 60 plus years old, which I'm approaching, I'm in my 50s already. So approaching the part whereby there is 5% of stem cells left. So I'm really very thankful and very grateful that I get to know this product that can help me to regenerate my stem cells right now. Okay, so when we talk about stem cells, I think all of us would have heard from doctors or from the news and from the health magazine. This is really like the in thing, right? Whereby it's not by live wave, but it's proven out there in science in terms of how stem cells can actually have us be younger and help us with certain diseases. So right now in the market, right, there are different ways that you can actually access to it, right? One is via like the stem cell injections, which we know firstly is very expensive. Not all people can access to it. And we also know that there is the danger involved, which is why in Singapore right now it's not legalized yet. Because you don't know that there is the pre-part whereby how it has to balance or your immune system before you can even do the stem cell injections. And not to talk about there is the maintenance after as well. So it's expensive, and yet also there is also that danger as far as we know. And also there is the other one, which is the stem cells actually from animals, right, and plants. The other one that we take a look at, which we personally prefer, or the people, right, in this room that we prefer, is actually the stem cell patch. And if you can see on the left side of what I have, the beauty about stem cells, right, is how they can actually turn into any cells that our body needs. So when there is a place whereby it needs recovery and healing, stem cells is the one, can actually turn and into the appropriate cells. So we call it in Mahjong, it's almost like the Joker card. So, yes. So what is this technology? Let's see. Right? When tissue or organs are damaged, the stem cells were able to divide and develop into other types of cells so that they could repair themselves. And so we call this stem cell therapy. Yeah. So introducing X39, the stem cell activation patch. So when we call it the activation patch, there is not like it's a stem cell patch. It is not, right? But it is a patch like upon patching onto our body, right? With the infrared that we have to reflect certain frequencies of light, right? To actually support our body to start generating and activating the stem cells. So we say the stem cell activation patch. So it's with 20 years of development and over 80 clinical studies for this to finally to be able to get to us. One of my friends or one of my brand partners was saying this, which I was so touched, because she mentioned this. She says that, wow, even just by putting one X39 and what it does to her level of pain, she felt that, even with a little bit less of a good karma in life, you might not be able to come across this product. So she sees it as it must have been a good karma in her life that's attracting this healing. So what does X39 do? Elevates copper peptide. And this is very interesting because for me, myself, I only know about this when I come over to LifeWave, and the copper peptide activates stem cells. Right? And this magazine, right, as you can see over here from the National Library of Medicine, yeah. So this is not from LifeWave, but it's from the National Library of Medicine. There is also says here, right, that copper peptide has also found to possess powerful cell protective actions, right? DNA repair, activation of cell cleansing. So what it does is it resets our genes to a younger, healthier state, right? So also anti-cancer activities and anti-inflammatory actions plus DNA repair and activation of stem cell cleansing. So as a result of that, what can we, in a way, look forward to, yeah? Right? I use the word look forward to and not expect, because look forward to means all this can happen over time, but you can't decide on which time and when, and which ones first. So it can lead to rapid wound healing, resets our genes to a younger state, right? Like tuning a piano, our genes also need that kind of a maintenance, right? Convert the older life cells to a younger state, and collagen repair. So the X39 patch elevates the copper peptide for activation of stem cells. So clinically proven to enhance overall health and vitality, which you will be hearing this evening from a few people, experience a new level of dynamic wellness, convenient and easy to use. You just need to patch, right? And fast results, and it's patented, no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants. Right? So non-drug, non-transdermal, non-invasive. And what we mean by non-transdermal, so nothing really gets through your skin. Not like those medicated patch lah. That's what we mean. Right? And LifeWave is unique because it's the only phototherapy product in the world that uses the human body as its own power source. So this is really coming from the belief that our body is very intelligent and we can heal ourselves when it gives it the right conditions, the right nutrients, and the right signals. Okay, so this is basically how it works. Like I shared a little just now, the patches reflect very specific wavelength of light that stimulate the surface of skin. Okay, the body heat will activate the crystals inside the patch, stimulate the skin to reduce the inflammation, immediately. So that's what he says. He came up with a way of manufacturing nanoscale crystals and embedding them into a patch. So you will notice from the different patches that I introduced just now, they all look the same, right? But in a way, the nanoscale crystals are actually arranged in a different way to reflect different wavelengths. Okay, this is the one that I mentioned just now, right? Whereby in as little as 6 months, the telomeres lengthen to the equivalent of 8.5 years of age reversal. So what really that means that I want to qualify, it's not that your face will look 8.5 years younger. It's like your organs, internal organs will be younger, and it can reflect onto your face, about you looking younger or the quality of your hair, which we will hear from Gary later. All right, so without further ado, very fast, we just come to the part on the testimonial. So I want you to have a bit more time to hear people's sharing. So like I said before, we call the live testimonials out just to show you guys that this is the hot from the stove from the 2024 Olympics. So spot the patches that they are wearing over here. So we do suspect this must be energy enhancer. And this could be, I don't know, for pain or for energy, but this is what that we got, yeah. And all right, without further ado, let me invite Gary first. So Gary, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, okay, great. So Gary, by the way, a couple of months ago, right? Many months ago, actually, when I'm actually conducting the Zoom, I also invited Gary, because that time when I saw his hair, I went like, wow, that's very happening. Oh, maybe show you his hair first. So that's when I know him at that point in time. I'm like seeing the development. I'm like in January that was 2024. So I remember possibly somewhere in late January or early Feb, right, Gary, that I invited you up onto the Zoom.
You're right.
To
You're
see
right.
the testimonial. Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the things, guys, that I invited him back today is, number one, to show you that his hair is still there.
Still here. Still here.
Right. So still maintaining, still upkeeping, right, as he's patching. And also maybe to just share with us a little bit more of what he has experienced, since January until now. Over to you, Gary.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for inviting me, Alice. Okay, once again. I hope you can hear me well. Okay. So today I have a couple of so-called improvements over the past slightly over 1 year. I come across LifeWave somewhere in mid of May last year. Okay, so when I started, I think as most of the people do, I started from X39 and Eon. There's in May last year. Then because I know what is stem cell, but I don't have the chance, to go overseas for injection because of the high cost. So previously I came across some other supplement products. So when I come across LifeWave, I know that this should be the one for me. So as what Ellie said just now, don't expect or don't anticipate, the stem cell will ask him to cure for you, or not to cure, to improve for you this condition A, this. No, stem cell will not do that way. Stem cell, once they increase in the body, they will prioritize, okay? And then they will automatically go and repair and then to improve those damaged areas to what they think is the most critical. Okay, so for me, I started using, and then there's when beginning of June, and then I realized that actually X49, okay, can help on hair improvement. So frankly speaking, okay, I want to try. And of course, I don't put much hope, because in the past 10, I think 20 years, I've spent a lot of money and a lot of time on my hair, okay? Sometime I see, most of the time, I can see tiny little hair in the beginning, okay, but that's it. After a while, it will stop and then you'll go back to the same. So money and time is wasted. Okay, so to cut it short, Jude, the first one on the top left, okay, that is my first picture taken while I started using add-on X49. And then on the right top is, I think it's 2 months later, August 8th. So this is the second picture I take. So when I see this comparison, when we have only when we have two pictures for comparison, then we'll know how bad was it in the beginning. Okay, so then I said, wow. So then after that, I continue again, never stop. 1 month plus later, okay, bottom left is the third picture, and then I stop taking picture already until January the 14th, beginning of this year. So I think then I got this last picture from me. I think it's from my wife, who took the picture off for me. So I would say that generally between the third and the fourth picture, not much different, maybe a little bit more. But I think everybody will agree with me that from day one until now, the improvement is quite outstanding. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so to answer your question, at least my hair is still here. Okay, still here.
Yes.
Of course, I really don't think that it will go back. No, that's impossible. Okay, but to stay like that and it don't drop further, I think it's very good for me.
Yeah.
Right?
By the way, you are looking very good, Gary.
Thank you.
Because I
Okay.
meet you then and now, very good, not just in the hair.
Yeah, thanks to stem cell, thanks to X39, okay, and X49, of course. Okay, so a couple of improvement also beside my hair. So one is my wrist, okay, my right wrist. I have this so-called long-term injury. probably 20, 30 years ago when I was within, I think around 25 to 30, I forgot when was the exact date or time. And then I injured then. Ever since, whenever I want to stand up from the chair, when I press on the table or from the chair, I can feel that the uncomfortable is there. Okay, it's pain, slight pain, but not to the extent. Okay. So as I said, I started patching last May. Then around June, around July, I still remember. But one time, I still can feel the pain, the uncomfortable. So I talked to myself. I told myself probably I have to hang on to this for a long time until I die with it. But something happened seriously. So around August or September, I still remember. Then the pain gone. Okay, out of sudden until now. Okay, so even now, however I press, there's no feeling already. So it's like back to normal. Okay, right. And then the other one is my knee pain. So I got my knee pain probably maybe 3-4 years ago. Okay, 3-4 years ago. That's aging process. When I'm approaching 50, whenever I have when I do like running or what, then I will start to sometime if I continues to run for a few days, then I feel that pain. So I still remember also when I start to patch last May, then out of sudden, if I'm not wrong, around July, all happened around the same timing, around July time. So got one night, when I turn, when after while sleeping, when I turn the body, so when you turn the body, your leg will turn also, right? Or from left to right, right to left. Then that kind of pain, that sensation is different from the previous pain I experienced before. It's very painful, seriously. It's very painful. Then I say, oh, what is it? Then after that, I tell myself, okay, probably it's because of healing crisis. Okay, it's healing crisis. It start to repair, start to work on the damaged area. Okay. Then I bear with it. The second day, I still feel that, but it become better. Third day, very mild only. Then it's gone. Then I feel like normal again. But it came back again the second time. It came back the second time probably in 2 to 3 weeks later. But this time about 2 days only, if I'm not wrong. And then it's not so serious already. Okay, while doing the repairing job. And then until now, touch wood. Okay, I'm okay. Okay, I'm okay. But of course that I don't exercise every day now. But at least that's because in the past, before I use when I walk up the staircase, I can feel the knee pain. But now I'm thankful to extraordinary. Okay. And then one more last one. Okay, it's my head. Okay, let's say you see, it's on top of my head. I have this I developed this so-called, we call it corn or wart. Okay. So like it's a dry, no, every few days I need to peel it. No, I need because I can feel that, so I will peel it off. It grows, it start to grow. When I peel it off, um, it becomes flattened again. Then few days later, it will grow again, no? So it's very irritating, but every time it makes you to really peel it off to want to scratch it. You need to scratch it away. And then again, and now it's gone already. Okay. And it is gone already. And now I don't have to do that job already. Okay. So that's much from my side, okay, on my
Wait a
sharing.
minute. Let me ask you this question, Gary. So when you first joined LifeWave and you used X39, what
Right.
was a primary concern or something that you want to address?
Not really, because as I said before I joined, I have come across and in contact with some stem cell product. So
I
it's
see.
just that I want to continue with stem cell so-called involvement, okay, because
Oh,
I stopped using that product. So I
mm,
knowing that the benefit of stem cell, so I just want to upkeep my condition. Yeah,
I see.
knowing that I have many underlying conditions.
Okay. All right. So it sounds to me that, from the hair and then there are so other incidental successes, right?
Mm,
Yeah. So, what you just shared just now just points to, I also learned this term, from Jinglong that time. It's called the body's triage system. So for those of you that is interested, maybe I'll just read it over here. Our bodies actually have a built-in triage system that prioritizes what needs attention first. not what you want first, right? And most of the people often focus on the immediate symptom while the underlying cause goes unaddressed. So what we are saying is also that sometimes you notice that so if Gary is to come in and say, wow, I want to heal my hand, right? I want to heal my hand, right? Maybe the hand bit, he hasn't seen it, but then he sees it in the hair first. Right? We never know. So it's almost like, what should I say? Trust the body. Trust our body. Give it what it needs. Give it the time and be patient, for it to heal you. Because all human beings, is a natural instinct for us to want to survive. Yeah. So you see, for Gary, the beauty comes first. Okay. So thank you so much. Okay, by the way, just to repeat or to summarize, right? Gary shared a few things. Firstly, the scalp that is actually on the head. And I think this is not new. There are quite a people who actually has that, right? And that it kind of grow back. So what I'm hearing from him is it's very sustainable. It hasn't come back. We can invite him back again next year and check. Right. Secondly is the hair growth, right? He has been, as in the maintenance of what he has achieved. Thirdly, I'm hearing it's also the knee pain as well as the joints, right? On the hands, right? The wrist, right? On the wrist. Okay, so you can start, it sounds to me that you are getting younger. You can start to go and play your sports again. Okay, and Gary, I know that you also have something that you want to share with us with regards to one of your brand partners.
Yes, correct. So probably yes. So very what we call that again?
Varicose vein.
So this is one of my brand partners. Okay. So their husband and wife. Of course, this is on the wife lah. Okay. So the wife to address her as Mrs. Kong. Okay. So Mrs. Kong, her job nature is he works in the kitchen, so he has to spend long hours in the kitchen every day. Okay. So I think she's in her mid-50s this year. And so because due to long standing, so she developed this problem, okay, varicose vein, okay, over year. I think it's quite a long time already, a few years already, probably due to long standing, because as according to Jinglong, this one is because your blood circulation, it doesn't flow up back to the body, to the upper part of the body. So that's why it's stagnant there. So it's so-called blockage there causing this to happen. So actually this one, tonight I know I've told the husband the wife need to start from X39 Eon, probably with carnosine. Okay. And because of the weak leg, okay, she can feel that there is no energy on the leg. So I also asked him to start from energy enhancer also. Okay. So, but I think she forgot everything. She only patched on energy enhancer only. Okay, of course, that X39. Okay, and Eon without any carnosine. So this is the result. Okay. Okay. This is the result. So I said that.
Amazing. Our patches work.
Yes. So you see, because the patch really work on the root cause, right? So the root cause is because of the blood circulation. So by patching at the bottom of the feet, energy enhancer, WR white left, okay, the white right hand left. So she has been patching that since day one, even until now. Okay, so only after he showed me this picture, I said, cannot see where. No, sorry, I didn't patch any carnosine. Okay, so now she already added, okay, carnosine to it. Yeah.
So Gary, what is this patch that is reflected here in the picture?
It's energy enhancer.
Oh, it's energy enhancer. Oh,
energy enhancer. Yes, correct.
Okay, so the other one is on the other leg lah, because
no,
this one
it's the same leg. This is the same leg.
Okay,
it's the right leg. It's the same leg. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
And thank you so much.
Yeah.
So a few things we are hearing from you before I move to Celine. So you have been using 3949, right? In terms, even your wrist pain and your knee pain is also the 39 and Aeon. Am I right to say that?
Yep.
Yeah, 39 Aeon. Okay. And this brand partner is the Energy Enhancer X39 and Aeon.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for your sharing.
Thank you.
And let me move on to Celine this evening. Hi, Celine.
Hi,
First
Ali.
time meeting you.
Yes,
Welcome
yes.
to the
First
Zoom.
time sharing.
First time sharing. Okay,
Yeah.
welcome. So how can I pass it over to you to start? I show your next slide.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so before I get into my husband's head as well, I, I I just want to share with you all where I started patching through my colleagues. And we were, a group of 6 to 7 ladies, trying to check this out, this patch out, very skeptical. So we started just 2 months, we went in for 2 months and with no expectations, honestly.
With
No
no
expect
expectations.
Yeah,
Okay,
no
no
expectation.
expectations, but what were you hoping for? What were you
Just
get?
hoping for general health improvements.
Okay,
Yeah. And
okay.
then, because the wife bring back the patch and I patched myself, I couldn't bear not to patch my husband.
Okay.
So both of us started using it at the same time. I started using it in late January this year. And for me personally, what I have amazingly encountered is I love going to gyms and doing all the body jam, the dance class, the Zumba class. So in the past, right, and I've been wearing knee guards
Mm,
because every time when I go to a class, I have to rest for a day or two because my kneecap will swell.
mm.
Yeah, and then because it's high impact, so I will always go into my classes with two black color knee guard.
Mm.
So without even realizing it, I noticed that somewhere around April, my knee doesn't swell even I go to body jam classes. And then slowly I start not wearing my knee guard. And I didn't swell at all right after the class.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, I don't need a knee guard. Yeah, so that's where I started realizing something have changed in me.
So Celine, you use X39 and Aeon, is it?
Yes. I only
Okay,
use X39 and Aeon at that point of time. And
okay.
every time when I want to do spot check on my girl, she
Mm,
will notice I'm coming upstairs because she can hear my knee cracking sound. So
mm.
I can't do any spot check on her. But now, right, she sometimes cannot hear mommy's coming.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
maybe
that
there's also the cartilage growth as well, right? Like the gel.
yeah, I would think so. There's not much of that, cracking sound when I go up the staircase.
Wow.
So this is something that amazing that happened to me after using the patches.
For how long, may I know?
Um, I started late January, so now is my 8 month, a
Yeah, it's not
beginning of
8 months.
8 month.
Wow, amazing. Okay.
Yeah. And then my husband actually gained more than I do.
Okay. All right. So now let's take a look at your husband's head.
Yes. The one on the right is, I can, like I say, we were actually pretty skeptical, but when he was watching his TV, I sat behind him, so I just snapped one photo just for fun.
Mm.
Then 7 July, we went for a morning walk as usual. I started noticing, he seems like he got more hair. So I told him, I think your hair has grown a bit more. He refused to believe me. So I snapped another picture. Then I dig the old photo out and I show him.
Mm.
And, he was really happy. This
Wow.
one was a bonus to him because it wasn't as much of a concern as Gary.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is after 7 months of using X39 and Aeon.
Wow. Very nice.
Yeah. And I think another unconscious bonus that he had gum disease, periodontal, where his gum will swell and sometimes it would have pus. It didn't come back because every other 2 to 3 weeks he will have this gum disease coming up. and
Wow.
went to dentist, you know, he has been doing his flossing and all this, but it doesn't help.
So
And
he
this,
also used X39 and Aeon.
yes, correct, correct. And he had bad breath as well. So, you know, I actually brought him to do colonoscopy because I don't know, it could be something wrong with him because he has done all the dentist dental work that he needed, but it's still there. So I was worried something is wrong with his colon. So brought him to do colonoscopy, let him do cleansing, but the bad breath didn't really go away. And then suddenly again, I was like, how come I never nag at him? Because every time I can smell it, I would have told him, please go and drink more water, please go and gargle, please go and do something about it. Yeah, so this is something amazing, and I think it gives us back the quality of life. Yeah, and yeah, that's what he has experienced through X39 Aeon.
That's amazing. I mean, just to share a little bit, right? Because Aeon is really to help us reduce the inflammation, right? And that definitely also helps in like the gums, right? Like what I'm hearing you share. And X39 help us to regenerate, right? And to heal.
Yeah.
So that's the result of a loving wife, by the way, Celine.
Thank you.
Right, as a result of you can't bear to just use it on herself, he really is the beneficiary of this. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall I move on to this? Yes.
Oh, yeah. So, actually, in my family, the person who suffered the most is my sister. She had 30 years of eczema. She doesn't have fingerprints, so you know, if going through immigration, she cannot go through the auto gate.
Yeah.
The eczema has been torturing her for 30 years.
30 years. How old is your sister right now?
50.
50. Wow. So was 50.
Yes, and she had tried everything you can find over the counter and from the doctors. Steroid, any lotion, any cream. If we go overseas, she'll go and try all the lotions and creams and whatever not.
Yeah.
You name it, she probably will have tried it. Yeah. So on my second month of, you know, trying out X39 and Aeon, I actually share with her. You know, she's those
Hi.
give it a shot.
Okay, Celine, I think we lost you for 5 seconds. Just now it was frozen.
Yeah,
okay, never mind. You just repeat that 5 seconds. You were saying that when you shared with her after using.
Yeah, so when I shared with her, she feels that she has nothing to, you know, lose, and it's pretty affordable, so she don't mind, you know, trying it out because she don't have anything else that can help her. So she started, if you can see the pictures here, right, from the top left to right.
Yeah.
Actually, the wart on the first picture wasn't much of a concern, but she bear with it. Then, you know, later at the, you know, actually 3 weeks after she used it, the wart just dropped off.
Yeah, disappear here. We can see.
Yes. That was the first thing that she noticed. Then after that, right, she had very bad healing crisis. Very bad. Very bad to the extent that she told me she feel like chopping off her hand.
This one is like the 富贵手, like that, right? That comes out, yeah.
The healing crisis was, you know, really, really very bad that she has to take double dose of steroid. Yeah. But then 2 weeks after that, right, then she start. So I keep telling her, drink more water, please drink more water, please hang in there, because I think that 2 weeks I was quite stressed because I worry she may give up through the healing crisis. So I've been, you know, every other day keep giving her, you know, moral support, mental support. So after that, it started to, you know, go uphill better and better and better, you can see. Until now I met her yesterday. I look at her hand.
Mm.
She a bit pantang, so she didn't want me to ask, but I can I can see it's a lot better.
Wow.
So I asked her through WhatsApp, how do you feel? She told me she is 1,000,000 times better than when, you know, when she before she used the patch.
Wow.
So
Wow.
now her daughter and her husband has started.
Mm.
Yeah, and she's very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very powerful, Celine, because you see what we are looking at on our screen right now is a pair of hands, right? But what we are really looking behind is the quality of life,
Mm.
right? The quality of life that right now with where she is, the activities that she can go for, the mood that she's in, right? And also the activities that she can enjoy with the husband and daughter right now.
Yes, last time she refused to let people hold her hand because her hand would crack.
Ah,
Eczema was so bad, her hand would crack
wow,
every other day.
wow. So
Really
right now
bad.
it's happy husband, happy daughter.
Yes,
Let's
yes,
hold
yes,
hands.
yes.
Wow, wow. You see, and again, Celine, that's the result of a loving sister.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. Okay, sorry. I think this belongs to someone else.
Mm,
Okay, so thank you so much for your sharing.
no
Right,
problem.
and yeah, before I move on to Helen, it's just to reiterate that all these results that we are seeing here, very interesting, mainly X39 and Aeon, right?
Yes,
And
correct.
it's really the bit whereby, taking a step, taking a risk, right? So before I continue on the next sharer of Helen is to share and to take this moment for all of us to consider, who would you like to be loving to after tonight? Is there one more person you want to take a risk with, right? Because that could really shift their quality of life. Thank you so much, Celine, for your
No
share.
problem. Thank you for having me here.
And yes, can I invite up Helen? Helen, you there? Hi, Helen.
I'm up.
All right, Helen. So by
Hi.
the way, Helen is a yoga instructor and she has to rush home tonight so that she can come on our Zoom. Thank you for coming in on time. Thank you
Yes.
for time to share with us. Okay, so Helen, maybe I start with your first slide over here.
Yes. Okay. So all right.
Yeah, do you want to
I
introduce yourself a little bit? Like when did you start to use LifeWave?
Yeah, well, I started LifeWave about I think 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. So it was in a yoga class, of course, and then I was looking at one of my student, basically Sarah, who
Sorry,
had
Helen, we cannot see you on screen, by the way.
what do I need to do? Just
We just see a wire. I think we were looking at a wire right now. Is it the monitor?
wait,
By the
give me a moment. Oh, you know why? You know
Yeah,
why I
right now
did?
we see the oh yeah, I think you put it the opposite way. Now we can
Yeah, no idea. Now you can see me?
no. You put it back again. So maybe just turn it around. Yes. Okay, stay there.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so basically I teach yoga and usually I'll pay attention to students who had injuries and all that. So one of them was Sarah, right? She had lower back injuries before, and so when I saw this little patch on her back, so of course I kepo and say, "Are you having pain?" And then the moment she said, that's a stem cell patch, I jumped. I say, I'll talk to you later after class. So because I know what is stem cell, well, I was interested and I know what is stem cell. So when she said she's wearing a stem cell patch, I was very, very keen because I was actually looking out for some sort of stem cell therapy for my mom's lower back and her knee joints, especially her knee joints, because it doesn't work well. So anyway, I asked her, she gave me the website, and I went to the website and I bought Diamond Street, so because I know what I want. And I knew I will make my family patch as well. So that's why I bought so many. Okay.
Wow.
So yeah. So that's how I begin patching. Okay, so I started patching with myself. Okay, so and because I'm a yoga teacher, so I always tie my hair back, and so gradually over the years I have receding hairline. Okay, so last year I took a picture of this part of my forehead, right? So a year later, so just earlier this month, I took another picture because I knew the hair is growing. Okay, because there's a lot of baby hair. So this is the result, over a year like this. Okay, so anyway, I mean, for me, the how the patches help me with the hair, I'm not very particular, like Gary. Okay, for for me is I think it's injuries. So generally for me, health wise, I'm quite okay. As a yoga teacher, I take good care of my health, and I'm really into health as well. So, but what happened last year was in March, I had a very bad lower back injury. Didn't warm up well enough for my lower back. So actually, thanks to Ice Wave and to Energy Enhancer, because the pain was so bad that I couldn't even put my foot into the yoga pants. I have to lie down, and I put my foot one at a time into the pants itself. So went to see orthopedics, went through many sessions of physio. But honestly, it's the Ice Wave, it is the Energy Enhancer on my lower back that really helped me a lot. Along with X39 and Aeon. I used so many patches at that time. So that was at that time last year for my lower back injury. Okay, so then the next slide. So I had a fall, this one. Okay, so I tell you, the patches are amazing. All right, so my chin there, it was quite raw. So this is 12th of August, and then the very next day, I tell you, the healing was so fast. It was only just X39, Carnosine, and Aeon. That's it. So you see, within 2 days, how well it healed. Very, very fast. Also impressed.
This is this year. This is this year.
No, that was this is also last year.
Oh, this is last year. Okay.
Last year was a very accidental year. So yeah, it healed very well, very, very fast. So I was very impressed anyway. Yeah, and then
So just curious, right, Helen? So where did you stick your X39, Carnosine, and Aeon for this injury?
Actually, in the night, I was putting the Carnosine next to my chin.
Okay,
Just here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just beside the injury.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Then the daytime normal, just X39, So nighttime I had I had Aeon here, Carnosine at the chin, So but Alavida as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is
the Alavida night cream was what I kept applying throughout the day.
Wow.
Yeah,
But I must say the recovery is amazing. This is just one day.
Yeah, I tell you, non-stop. I just keep applying whenever it dries up. I just keep applying Alavida night cream. It really has helped me a lot too, along with the patches.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. All right. So this is me from last year to this year. So just I mean, generally I'm really not into aesthetic, but this is just some improvement over the skin. All right. Yeah, in 1 year's time.
Yeah, over the skin, over the eyes, generally your face lifted.
Yeah. I feel, to be honest, I think the patches really helped me in terms of energy wise, So because either my classes are either in the morning, early in the morning, and then in between the daytime I have some free time, but I have a lot of things to do as well. Okay, and then so evening time I also teach till 9-10 o'clock. So long day for me, and I've got family commitments as well. So, but I tell you, the patches was really, really helps me a lot in terms of energy. I used to have to take naps in the afternoon, but I tell you, these days I hardly do naps at all. I can just go on like this the whole day.
Wow. Wow. Thank
Yep.
you. And this one?
Okay, this is my downline. Okay, one of the brand partners.
Mm.
So she is Chinese and 41-year-old, okay, and she has this thing called the endometrial hyperplasia. So 内宫子膜. So basically the thickening of the wall. So it was 11.8. All right. So her gynecologist actually wanted to do surgery already, but then she thought she wanted to just have time and give it a try. So with the patches itself, okay, because she doesn't want surgery. So it was 11.8 mm thick, right? So medication was prescribed to her to induce period. And then that was in March, right? The period came. And then so the scan shows that the walls thicken. And then the blood also shows that there are some hormonal imbalance. So the doctor told her, you have to stop all your TCM medication because she was taking on TCM medication. So last year, March and April, she started patching X39, okay, and carnosine and Aeon as well. So then menstruation started coming because before then she wasn't able to menstruate. So, and then the flow came as per normal. And then after that, in April, 1 month, the scanning showed the uterine lining reduced from 11.8 to 3.2 mm.
Wow,
This is impressive.
that's really impressive. That's like
Yes.
70%.
And then she doesn't need surgery or anything, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, she was due for invasive surgery, so she's very happy, you know, and
Yeah.
she's touching.
I mean, can you imagine, right? Because if you have invasive surgery, there is the before and there is the emotional stress. There is the after healing and recovery as well.
Yes, yes. And then for her to, at her age, right, then to start, you know, her menstruation resuming back to the normal cycle and flow, I tell you, she is very happy with the
Whoa.
patch.
So she uses X39 and Aeon as well.
X39 Aeon and mainly carnosine. X89 and carnosine. Sometimes she forgets to patch her Aeon, but this three patch pretty much did the trick.
Yeah, but this is really amazing. Oh my goodness.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
I think I definitely will be sharing with like all the women because sometimes we don't know what's happening.
Actually, any women, if they are on hormonal medication, right, you know, hormone replacement therapy, there will always be a risk of this happening, the thickening of their uterine, you know. So, but with patching, they will be protected from this, you know.
Yeah, so this really reminds me, right, Helen, of one of the doctors who was just saying in one of the YouTube sharing that I saw that, you know, we don't know what happens within our body. So we are hoping that, you know, the patch helps us with something that we know, right? But actually it can help us with a lot that we don't know as well because we don't know what's happening. We can't see, right? So like your friend has this condition bad enough so that it's being flagged out. Right. But for people who are actually at that state whereby it's starting and all, we might, you know, will not be surprised that the patch is already helping us through that.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, I feel very honored, honestly, to have come across this patch because like one of my downline said, right, she say, to come across using this patch, right, you know, the X39, the Aeon and all that. In Chinese, they say 是需要很大的福报, you know. And she always goes around telling her families, her friends that, you know, and I agree as well, honestly.
So that's is interesting, right? So it does not only do something to us physically, I guess emotionally as well, right?
Yep.
Because when you
Yeah.
see it as 一个很大的福报, you will also want to help spread that goodness and to share with people your joy.
Yes. I mean, I think for me, this is a privilege because I'm a yoga teacher. So I will always come across with people with a lot of pain, illnesses and all that. I mean, I will know all this because I capable their health as well. So honestly, it's really a privilege, you know, in this sense.
Wow, so tonight we see a loving, loving wife, loving sister. Now we have a loving and caring yoga teacher. So they are very fortunate to be our students. Yes, this
Okay.
one.
Okay, this one, okay, this lady, right? She is in her early 60s, 63. She is well, I tell you, she has this condition called trigeminal neuralgia. The pronunciation is a bit difficult. Chinese is called 三叉神经痛. So
Mm.
this is the nerves that controls our face, our teeth as well, and our chewing also. So you see where her fingers is pointing, that's where her pain is. And
Mm.
it's so excruciating. Actually, in this picture, this was much earlier in the year. I was teaching in Bukit Batok, and then one of my brand partners called me, text me after my class day that their relatives, they say she's in so much pain. She actually came from Johor Bahru to seek treatment in Mount Elizabeth, but she's in such excruciating pain that I have to rush down. I drove really fast from Bukit Batok all the way home to grab my Ice Wave, my X39, my Aeon.
Wow.
I also brought along Canostin as well. I feel like an ambulance, right, or first aider. So I went down with my brand partner. We drove down all the way to Sengkang. So from one end of the corner to the other end. So at that time it's already 10 plus in the night. So we patch her up with Ice Wave and also Canostin as well. So actually, it really gave her a lot of relief because the next day she could at least drink water, brush her teeth and all that, So so then she brought so we gave her patches. Okay, so she brought back to Johor. She started patching. But I tell you, the patching, because of the patch, right? And because of a lot of aesthetic procedures she has gone through also, she has a lot of healing crisis.
Mm.
She went through more than a month plus of a lot of mouth ulcers, and some ulcers are as big as 5 cents. And it's from one place to another place inside her mouth. Actually, it was really, really agony to a point where she wanted to give up, and then she went to her GP and then told the GP about the patch, and the GP said, it may not suit everyone, and he's skeptical. He's not very sure as well, but he's skeptical. So, but anyway, we persuaded her to keep using. So which I'm glad she did as well. So apart from ulcers, she also had frequent headaches, earaches as well. Remember this nerve controls, your chewing, your ears and all that. So anyway, she continued patching. So within months like this, right, she started to feel better. The main one is mainly her brushing of the teeth, because every day if she brush her teeth, it's really, really, really quite painful. And the pain, the kind of intensity can be like that of lightning. That kind of pain is pretty intense one. So she had, I mean, she can be quite depressive because of all this pain.
Yep.
So anyway, she patched, she persevered, she began to look better, so good that even the GP is curious, and he started patching himself. And then just a few weeks ago, just about 2 weeks ago, the GP said, can I buy the patch and patch my wife, because her lower back is really in pain.
Wow.
That's really, really fantastic, So
Yes.
this is another success story, and then also to hear her personally, saying thanks to me like this, I tell you, it really makes my day,
Yes, and it makes our day too. Thank you so much, Helen. And
Welcome.
thank you, like must tell you again, thank you. So 你也会有福报的。
是的，大家都会有福报，一样。
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. So maybe before I move off to the last bits, is there anything else you want to share with us? Or that's it for today?
Pretty much that's about it. I mean, the thing is that, the patches have been wonderful. I have many of them in my group where there are many success stories, like people's fibroids reduce, liver cysts reduce as well. So honestly, you must patch. Consistent patching yields consistent results, you know. If you patch inconsistently, it's very difficult to see results, you know.
Wow.
So it's good when you have very supportive people around you to guide you as well. So yeah, we are very blessed to have you, to have Jin Long, to have so many people in the group.
Thank you. Oh, you're making me tear already. No, I want to say this, right? Before we end off this evening, it's really to look back at this again. It's whereby, number one, I must say that I hear the passion tonight. I mean, from Gary speaking about himself, his brand partners, to Celine talking about husband and sister, and of course, Helen. I mean, I can just imagine what it takes and what it means by to be your student, because
Mm.
you are a yoga teacher, but it sounds to me that you take care of them holistically.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
not just in terms of the yoga bit, but you genuinely care for their health and their goodness. Not all people can say they rush from one end to the other hand to help someone. So thank you very much for that. We are so proud to have you on our team. And
Thank you.
yeah, and I
My-
do want to also reiterate the part whereby what we are hearing from Gary, Celine, and Helen tonight, it's really about consistency, and it's really about not giving up, right? Because everyone goes through a different period. So not everyone can be like Gary, who have a honeymoon period, let's say right at the start on the hair, right? But there might be some people who goes through very bad healing crisis, right? Like what Celine mentioned and what Helen mentioned. And for people who went through those healing crises, and I want to say this to all of you, yeah, everyone who goes through that horrible healing crisis, and if they persisted, there can only be one reason, right? Because they know that you guys genuinely care for them and they trust you, really. Because if not, they would not have persisted. And that's the main thing whereby, somebody loves me enough to stay on with me, and I shall not give up on myself.
Yeah.
And that's really how I want to land with our session tonight, that wherever you are, if you are our brand partners, and if you are feeling that you are going through a healing crisis and it's difficult for you right now, want you to hear from these people that, we have a group of people here that, we can support one another for you to persist. And knowing and trusting that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. And yes, so before I just kind of close off this evening again, is to say that reverse aging takes time, right? You can see over here that there is different time frame for things to happen. So sometimes we can't just force it. And also you can see over here, this is like a rough gauge pertaining to what you can, in a way, expect or look forward to see. So, when you start with our patches, if you haven't, right? And when you first start to use, please take a picture of yourself, right? Because it's like over time, you can't really see things that's happening in the body, but you can see it reflect, over time on your skin, on your hair, and in like just what Helen showed just now, I could see that lifting, the eye and the face. And this is what you need to do and what we recommend as a start, right? So of course you hear from be it Gary, Helen, or Celine, and you notice that they all use more than 3 months already, right? So they are very adventurous already in trying all the different patches and what that helps them, right? So for a start, this is what we are recommending so that you are not confused in terms of how to use the many goodness of the patches that we have, right? Take your time to try on the different patches. Now we recommend that for the first 3 months, right? Start with like X39 in the morning, as you can see here. And here is the location that we patch. We call it the Da Zui Xue, right? That actually governs our central meridian. And also in the evening, nighttime, we actually put on Aeon. So it's 12 hours in the morning, 12 hours at night. And make sure you drink lots of water. Like what, Celine keeps telling the sister, drink water, Helen telling her, drink water, right? Because the best conductor of biocurrent, it really helps in our cellular communication. Okay, so just to summarize, like stem cells are the repair cells of our body. This is a fact that we are aware. And the solution that we are recommending, so Don't get me wrong, there are very different solutions out there, right? But what we believe about this solution is, firstly, it's affordable, it is safe, it is patented, and we have a lot of people who have used it that has the results, and some of which you are actually hearing this evening. And it's very interesting, isn't it? It's the same patch, but it has, it actually can make a difference to all the different conditions that actually we see tonight. Yeah. And before I close off, to just let you know, this evening is almost like a taster, right? Like you hear me say a little bit, like within that, 20, 25 minutes of an introduction and hearing from some people. And if you do have the time and you want to know a little bit more, that we do have, sessions every day, actually, from Tuesday to Saturday, right? At Wood Square. And you can see the hours and the timing over here, whereby you can be learning, with regards to the patch, the product, as well as seeing this as an opportunity for a business opportunity. Okay, so I'm just going to stop share here. I can see that it's 9:42. We have actually overrun about 12 minutes. Thank you for staying here with us. Really, thank you for staying with us tonight and supporting, all our speakers. Very quickly, just now I remember that somebody is asking, I think it was Grace, who say that how can you get the recording? So the recording will be posted out anywhere between late tonight or tomorrow in most of the major chat groups. So Grace, you can check with the person who invited you onto the Zoom tonight. All right. So, okay, I think, yes. Thank you. We don't have the questions over there, which means that, speakers, congratulations to you. You guys did a great job tonight. All right. Thank you once again, Helen, Celine, and Gary, for your time and your commitment this evening. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.